congratulations. I don't really need, so glad you made it. Whatever it is you have, just save it. 'Cause I can do proud all on my own. I think I'd rather see cooperation. I think I'd rather be well compensated. I think I'd rather feel appreciated. Hey, yeah, but I can do proud all on my own. I can do proud all on my own. I body these burdens for so long. I've handled these demons on my own. So I can do proud all on my own. I don't really need congratulations. I don't really need, so glad you made it. Whatever it is you have, just save it. Hey, yeah, 'cause I can do proud all on my own. I think I'd rather see cooperation. I think I'd rather be well compensated. I think I'd rather feel appreciated. Yeah, but I can do proud all on my own. I can do proud all on my own. I've bodied these burdens for so long. I've handled these demons on my own. So I can do proud all on my own. And I can do proud all on my own. I've bodied these burdens for so long. I've handled these demons on my own. So I can do proud all on my own.
Welcome, everyone, to Bridge City Sunday Session. My name is Bob Swanson, and Sunday Session, of course, is your weekly touch point for connection, community, and conversation. So welcome to everybody who's joining us live on YouTube, or if you happen to be joining us on the global campus, or of course, you might even be hosting a local watch party. Welcome in. And of course, I want to welcome in my pal, Mark, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Welcome, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. That song had me a little choked up, actually. That was really good. I don't know what to say. But yeah.
Well, one thing I should say, because I forgot to drop this in, was, of course, we wanted to remind everyone of Bridge City's mission. Now that you found our Sunday session, our goal, of course, is to help people connect better, build better, and live better.
Yes, and that just goes back to the values of this channel and our community to reinforce forward thinking, that we are a forward-thinking and people-centric community, and always life-affirming. And actually, that's very much in the spirit of today's talk, which is about reciprocity. That life is not something we just receive, but it's also that we need to participate in, that we are going to affirm ourselves. We affirm ourselves in how we act. We affirm each other as people in how we act and how we live our lives. And it's a way that we can move everyone, ourselves, and the entire community forward. So I think that this is a really good, valuable message today.
Absolutely. Because of course, with any kind of community, people matter. And part of being, in the Bridge City community is that This is a space where we don't pretend to have certainty about things, but we do want to have honest conversations, honest thinking, and make intentional connections, as well as to reflect on what we learn. Everyone is welcome. There's no real pressure, and you don't even have to agree with absolutely everything in the conversation to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, we definitely want to make sure that if you're a first-time guest, welcome. We are so glad that you're here. Your presence here makes a difference, and we always appreciate you showing up whenever you can. So
yes, and please do blip that the QR code there that you see on the screen. That is a free gift for our guests. It's really just it's a helpful tool for navigating connection in real time. It'll get you familiar with the Bridge City campus.
And also for our current members, I'd like to extend the same kind of welcome. We always love seeing you show up every week. And just as today's talk is going to talk about participation as well, and so participation in our lives in general, not just, it's great to have you participating with us. We want more participation in this community, and just really be intentional in one's lives. So
yeah, so the theme today is reciprocity. So what do you think about reciprocity?
Reciprocity, yeah. So so this is where we were going to. I think that this is trying to understand how life is. There's a lot of give and take in life, and but it's not necessarily transactional. And this is the thing. If we can't focus on the transactional, I think unfortunately there's so much of our society does in fact focus on what is transactional. Yeah. What can you do for me? Yeah. Even, I mean, truly, just how we build our entire financial system and stuff is all completely, everything is on transactions. So, but yeah, the idea is to create a better community, to build better, and to create growth.
Yeah, because people can feel stuck and isolated and overlooked and perhaps under-supported. And so one of the main things we'll be talking about is how to understand reciprocity in order to help us understand how life can open up through participation, contribution, and connection.
Yeah, so we wanted to ask those people who are online right now in the chat. So in what area of life do you need better reciprocity? See if
anything pops in there.
What people might come up with.
And while we're kind of waiting on that, one thing I will mention, Mark, not on the script here, but when I think reciprocity, I think Robert G. Ingersoll. And if anybody who talks to me or comes into my orbit, will hear that name a lot. He was a 19th century humanist, free thinker, but he used to say that happiness is the only good. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make others so. And I think that last part of it, the way to be happy is to make others so, is really, in my mind, a lot about reciprocity. That the more you give, the more you actually get. And that's my little.
I'll have to look up this guy. This is these are. I have had another guy that I've been following who. I mean, this is something about that period of time. The mid to late 1800s, where there was this new campaign of free thought and such that would not be out of place in today's society, in the modern world,
Right, yep.
and in the kind of conversation that we do today. It's really striking to me how over 100 years ago people were just still going through the same stuff and talking about the same
Absolutely, yeah, exactly, right. Well, hey, let's move on to the news.
Yes, let's take a look at the news. So greetings, Bridge City. Good, great to see you. My name is Mark Russell. I am the book club leader here, as well as doing a few other little things in the community. Just
Little
looking
Mark does a
to.
heck of a lot, so
I'm
glad that Mark's here. Glad that everyone's joining us today.
I did want to mention that this is our first. I think this is our first session in the month of June. Is that right? Or
That is correct. Yes.
so, which is Pride Month, and so I just wanted to bring that up to say that we're also here at Bridge City in thinking about celebrating Pride, figuring out how to celebrate Pride, and just this actually kind of goes back to some of last week's stuff and the things with shame. But I was thinking about this because so many times you see these, I don't know, you see like Fred Phelps and these people who protest like Pride and stuff like that, that they are saying that it's against the Bible and stuff. But in fact, it seems like this is such a big misunderstanding because what is being celebrated is not what they're talking about in the Bible. The biblical pride is more like that arrogant self-exaltation and contempt. It's about tearing people down to lift yourself up or something like that. And that's not what Pride Month is about. So the Pride Month is started in 1969 Stonewall Uprising, which was a direct response to shame that was being introduced to LGBTQ plus people. The people were made to feel so this was shame that was for people just for the very fact that they existed. And the pride being celebrated is closer to like a self-respect and human dignity than to that sinful hubris. It's about refusing to internalize hatred, claiming the right to exist openly, and honoring a community's resilience. These two things share a word, but not a meaning or spirit at all. And conflating the two really misunderstands both. So.
Yeah, and I'll throw another Robert G. Ingersoll-ism at you, Mark. Robert G. Ingersoll he would like to say that I would claim no right for myself that I would not gladly extend to someone else. And in my mind, that's part of pride, is celebrating everyone's freedom to be their selves. To
Absolutely.
walk freely in the identity that they're comfortable with. And that we should all, no matter where you are, on the spectrum, you should celebrate that. And again, if you claim it for yourself, you should be willing to gladly extend it to someone else. So,
yeah. Absolutely.
Well,
so with that, I'd just like to invite everyone to visit our global campus. And as you can see displayed on the screen, there's a QR code. It's under construction. We have some specific areas that you can start with. There's the lobby, which is a good place to start. It has our welcome center, an event center, and the welcome center has a good starting point where you can find some little classes and sessions to learn a little bit more about Bridge City, our event center, to see what's going on in the community, and maybe just drop in and check something out. Business center to find people who are offering services, and we have a lot of other areas, so just check them out.
Yeah, as you continue to explore, you'll run across the things we call connection circles, which again gives you a chance to get oriented to the community and the campus a little bit more, as well as we have small talks, which are opportunities for members to actually kind of share some of their own expertise and their own areas of interest, which is a really cool thing. Another cool thing is watch parties. Sunday sessions are really great, but they're even better in a group. So if you can, or if it would enhance your experience, yeah, try to get some friends together to share the value that you're getting out of Sunday sessions. These are just small in-person gatherings where folks can watch Sunday sessions together. And if you happen to organize something like that, yeah, post a
Yeah,
picture
absolutely.
to the local campus. That'd be great.
The watch parties are a great first step to that we are trying to get more local communities and campuses, and a watch party is like a good first step to get into that. So if you are curious and not quite ready to lead something, I mean, this is something large. At least this is a little small step if you'd like to do something to create some of that community. And next thing is we have coming up actually this evening. I'll be helping to host the movie night tonight. So tonight's movie night is The Normal Heart. This is a movie that it's kind of a heart-wrenching film. It's definitely worth seeing. It's very in line with the Pride Month theme as well. And I'm not exactly sure. So Reciprocity, I'll have to go and think about that some more. But definitely goes in with the current Pride Month and stuff. So,
well, and I'm looking forward to this. One cool thing about our movie nights is that not only do we watch the film together, but there's also the chance to, of course, people chat in the comments during the film, as well as I assume, Mark, we're going to have a chance to
we always have
a conversation afterward as well, which is really cool.
The discussions are like the best part.
I've never seen this movie, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
And I kind of maybe apropos to nothing. Last night I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie about Freddie Mercury and Queen.
Yeah. Right.
Mainly just because my family's traveling, and so I got a chance to actually catch up on some music documentaries and such that I've been wanting to watch. So
nice.
That was a really, really cool movie to watch.
Nice. Excellent.
All right. We also have clubs, of course. So we got local watch parties. We have movie nights. We also have clubs, and the club we wanted to spotlight today is the Deconstruction Club, which I think is really important. And part of the reason why I think communities like Bridge City are important is because a lot of folks are coming out of religion, and one of the things that religious life filled for them was a sense of community. And I see Bridge City as being kind of a safety net for people. If we have a really authentic community and a very intentional community, hopefully, as people are deconstructing and having to unravel things that they have believed to be true for a long time, that knowing that there's this safety net of other people who are willing to support them can be really, really important. So the Deconstruction Club is a place to meet like-hearted people.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also a great place to just start out, introduce yourself to, if you want to. I mean, these were when I was first starting. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago now, I guess it is. That I just lurked for a little while just to get a feel for what was going on. What was the sense of the community. And after I had spent a little time doing that, I was able to get more involved by just starting conversation. And it's a great place to get engaged. I think that if you just even look through some of the conversations, and you come across something of interest, it's always worth just chiming in if you feel that it's something that you'd like to talk about. And even if it's an older conversation, I mean, people will come back and start talking again about that as well. It's great.
It's a good place for new members to kind of get a temperature of the room, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of new members, we've had a good number of new folks coming to Bridge City, 20 in the last month. And so just want to, again, if you're thinking about it, the QR code there is on the screen. It's sometimes uncomfortable or it can be a little bit scary to join a new community, especially if you've come out of a religious community. But we hope you find this to be a welcoming spot.
Yeah, but I mean, then exactly. So there is this. So like when you go to church, the way that you would meet people is like either at like the coffee hour afterwards or something like that. um, our closest equivalent is that we have our new member area where you can go in, and this is a place where you can introduce yourself, just to say hello. It's a great place to just start that step to in your introduction can be as simple or as detailed as you want it to be. You absolutely don't have to lay out your life, but you want to just get yourself into the room and start chatting. It's a great place to start.
Yeah, and just, you and I were one-time new members, and now we're volunteers. So once you get into the community and kind of get a feel for the room, then you can kind of feel for where you really fit in and where you can bring your own interests and talents. And so because heaven knows that any growing community needs volunteers. They need people who can do stuff. And in many cases, I think that actually gives you a really good sense of purpose by being able to leverage your own talents to a worthwhile cause. And so that's what we need for volunteering. It's not just to make the community look good; it's to actually help our community do good.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities and place to create to find work within the community and to be the bridge, as it were, so that you can see that vision. So,
and to help build the bridge, we also, of course, need resources, including money. So every second Tuesday of the month, which is going to be this coming Tuesday, is our Giving Tuesday. We don't have tithes in our community, but we do depend upon the support of community members to, first of all, take care of some of the basics of getting us on the stream and all that kind of stuff. But other ways of supporting the community. We're trying to set up a nonprofit status, and of course that requires some legal fees, et cetera, et cetera. So what you can contribute will go toward keeping and building the community.
Yeah, exactly. And we ask any help that you can make, but also we don't ask for you to give something that you don't have. Right. Nobody should be extending themselves for with things that they just don't have. I think I've been in that situation before. I have maybe been a little too generous, and you need to keep in mind where you are with yourself and what you're able to do. So sometimes if you can't give financially, though, too, as your time is always valuable as well, as far as if you want to volunteer in any capacity as well. So let's just wrap things up. Visit the Global Campus. Check out a watch party. Join tonight's movie night, Normal Heart. Check it out, and then join into the conversation as well. Check out our clubs. When you are on campus, welcome new members in as well. Be a participant in welcoming new people in, and choose to get involved. And when you can, support through our Giving Tuesday.
Excellent. Hey, well, it's just about to jump into the conversation, so now is the best time for you to share the stream, share our Sunday session with folks you think might be interested. Like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And let's now turn it over to Darante to learn about reciprocity.
Reciprocity, yeah.
Thank you both so much. I appreciate y'all. This was incredible. I love hanging out in the background and just kind of watching our team do what our team does. And of course, this is new for us, and it feels so refreshing to me. That was a great conversation. Thank you both. Man, it's Sunday, y'all. It's Sunday. Are y'all ready? We're starting a new series today. We're jumping dead into some new stuff, but before I get too ahead of myself, And I know our hosts have already done it, but I just want to acknowledge all of our first-time guests here. Listen, if this is your first time, we do have a gift that we'd want to get it put in your hand. This is our way of saying, hey, thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world today. And as a matter of fact, you may be anywhere in the world right now, and yet you're still choosing to share that time with us. And we honor that. We appreciate that. We hope you get a lot of value out of being with us today. And to help you get value out of that, we want to give you a special gift. And so you can visit the link on the screen, www.bridgecity.app/guest, and you'll get that gift. And we're not going to get your email address or anything like that. We're not going to ask you for money. We're just going to give it to you because that's how gifts work. It's so great to see so many of you in the chat. Listen, while you're coming in, make sure to let us know where you're watching from. As I say every week and almost every live now, you never know, you might be watching with your neighbors. So, you say where you from and somebody else say where they from. Dang, this sounds like a movie line, but you kind of got to be a little hood to know the movie that it was from. That's my Neuro Spicy. I'm gonna come back. This has already been echoed. Oh, DMV is in the building. Come on now. Colorado. This has already been said, but I want to echo it. Happy Pride Month, y'all. Get out there and celebrate. Let's see the rainbows. Let's see you living your best life. Pride Month is a month for all of us, and so let's embrace it. This is also, I think, men's mental health month, and for some reason that seems to fit. So let's be mindful of people out there. Let's take care of our mental health as we're moving on. But there's also something else that's going on in June that I'm incredibly excited about. June is the birthday month of Ashley Wilmore, our head of community. And so all month long, I want y'all to aggravate the hell out of Ashley with happy birthdays, with, do every version of happy birthday you can find, from the traditional happy birthday to you to the aggravating one that they sing at the restaurants, happy birthday, to the Stevie Wonder, happy birthday to you. Let's get all of them. And celebrate. She's been a wonderful force, a wonderful part of this community, and we are so great to have her here. We just started a new initiative within our community as a way to just celebrate our members. So every month we're gathering our members' birthdays and we're celebrating. And I saw Ashley's on there yesterday, and I was like, oh, bruh, I'm going hard on it. I'm going hard. So please make sure y'all show her some love. I don't know if she has a Cash App or a Venmo, but if she does, we're going to get it, and y'all show your girl some love. All right. Again, she's our head of community, and she's been doing excellent work. I'm so proud of the growth we've made. So proud of the growth we've made. All right. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for this conversation? Because today we're starting a new series, and it is called Reciprocity. We're kicking off a new series this weekend, and this was actually voted on by the members of our community. And of course, we're calling this one Reciprocity. Throughout the entire month of June, we're going to be focused on the idea that life is not something you passively receive, but something you actively co-create, okay? Through reciprocal engagement. What you invest in relationships, community, and personal growth directly shapes what you experience in return. Like directly. What directly. We're going to be challenging scarcity and entitlement mindsets. No, we're coming for everything. We're going to be replacing them with a systems-based view of human interaction where contribution, boundaries, and intentional participation generate meaning, opportunity, and well-being. The goal is to move from extraction, what can I get, to participation, what can I build, exchange, and sustain. Emphasizing that fulfillment emerges through mutuality, not isolation. The big point is this: life becomes richer when we learn how to participate in it with clarity, contribution, boundaries, and mutual care. Extraction asks, what can I get from this person, this community, this moment, and this opportunity? Okay. Participation asks, what kind of exchange am I creating here? What am I bringing? What am I receiving? What am I sustaining? Many people in post-religious spaces have been burned by communities that demand too much, gave too little, and called it service. So Bridge City has to approach reciprocity without recreating guilt, obligation or unpaid emotional labor. So we're talking about reciprocity as healthy circulation. Life works through circulation. Breathe in, breathe out. It's give, it's receive, it's speak and listen, support and be supported, rest and contribute, set boundaries and stay connected, learn and teach, pour out and replenish. When circulation breaks, people either become drained or disconnected. Reciprocity is not about keeping score. It's about keeping life moving. Are y'all ready for this? Let's get into week one. Let's get into week one. So since I've deconverted, I've become low key obsessed with logical fallacies and fallacious thinking, even beyond just the parameters of religious belief, primarily because I realized that religion wasn't the only arena in my life where I was constantly taking and confidently taking mental shortcuts that led to nowhere, or even worse, places that I didn't want to be. I'm talking finances, relationships, career choices, all the way down to challenging my understanding of what I believe I deserve in the world. You know, it's a funny thing because at one point I remember saying, I deserve this. I deserve this. And this still quiet voice within myself and said, Darante, how do you deserve something you can't afford? Help me do that math. It was a weird place. It was a weird place. It's a fascinating place to be because I'm constantly having to assess my assumptions and assertions about the world I live in and how it works. Over the past decade of my life, I've had to challenge every previously assumed should in my life. You've been there before. We say this should work this way. I should have this right now. They should have done that. The question now that arises for every should that I have is according to what? What rationale, what reason, what patterns have you detected? What phenomena had I observed to gain that confidence? What pattern had emerged that confirmed that probability? What evidence did I have to support that expectation? What information did I have to certify that intuition? I've become personally averse to unearned certainty and borrowed confidence. I call it putting the cart before the horse. Like, how did you do that? How did you get there? Assuming the conclusion and trying to force it into reality without a reason to believe that reality supports the conclusion. I'm going to run that back because I feel like a few of y'all missed it. Assuming the conclusion and trying to force it into reality without a reason to believe that reality supports the conclusion. In counter apologetics, is often called presupposition. Now, a presupposition is an implicit underlying belief or assumption that is taken for granted before a statement, argument, or action can make sense. It's the background information that a person assumes to be true and expects to be mutually understood by everyone involved. Now, some common non-religious examples of presuppositions, and I'm sorry, I'm going to step on a few toes right here, but we're talking about it, so we got to go there. A common example, common non-religious example is if you work hard, you will succeed. No. Another one is what goes around, you've heard it, comes around. No. Here it is. This one kind of from the church. If you sow, you shall reap. That's what they said. And watch this. This is one take you all the way back to kindergarten. Y'all remember kindergarten? Y'all remember kindergarten. If you say please, you'll get what you want. All of these fall within the parameters of what is popularly being referenced as the input-output fallacy. Oh, we about to go there. Y'all ain't ready for us today. The input-output fallacy, while not a formal logical fallacy, refers to errors in reasoning, modeling, or logic across several specific fields. It describes the flawed assumption that an exact mapping exists between what goes into a system and what comes out, ignoring external variables or the internal processing of the system. Okay. The concept appears across several distinct disciplines. So in education, for example, the belief that high quality teaching inputs, such as teacher effort, structured lesson plans, and time spent, will directly and uniformly result in high quality pupil outcomes. We'd like to believe that, but it just doesn't work that way because it ignores the fact that individual students learn differently and bring outside variables into the equation. This also happens in machine learning and AI. The legal and technological input fallacy that attempts to prevent algorithmic discrimination by simply excluding protected inputs such as race and gender. But in complex data models, this fails because machine learning can easily find proxy variables and correlations that recreate the discrimination despite the formal admission. But this also happens in knowledge management. It's the trap of believing that consuming vast amounts of information, like extensive reading or note taking, equates to true knowledge and output, while underestimating the learner's capacity to connect the dots between those concepts. Now, to cut through the noise, this is a cognitive error where people assume a direct, proportional, and linear relationship between inputs and outputs. It fails to account for complex systems that feature delays, feedback loops, or threshold effects. And I think this is one of the most common errors in human cognition, as it often enables us to criticize outcomes without understanding operations. I got to say that one more time. It often enables us to criticize outcomes without understanding operations. Carl Sagan warned about this in The Demon Haunted World when he wrote, "We live in a society exquisitely dependent on science and technology, in which hardly anyone knows anything about science and technology." That line is not just about science, it's about systems. We can be completely dependent on something and still deeply ignorant of how it works. And when we don't understand how something works, we start inventing explanations for why it didn't work the way that we expected. See, now you think I'm talking about science, and I'm talking about life. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission found in a 1995 study that at least 37 deaths and 113 injuries had occurred due to failing vending machines from 1978 to 1995. Okay, 37 deaths, 113 injuries between 1978 and 1995 were caused by falling vending machines. Now, this resulted in a voluntary campaign from vending machine manufacturers to warn that rocking or tilting the machines could cause serious injury or death, including placing warning labels on all machines. Now, I don't know when the last time you used a vending machine was, but when you go up to it now, you're going to see the sticker that's just like, "Hey, please don't do this. Don't rock this machine. It's not what you think." See, the scenario was driven by consumers physically rocking, shaking, or tilting these top heavy soda machines, which can weigh anywhere between 800 to 1,000 pounds, to dislodge stuck products or retrieve money. Now, number one, I'm just going to say that is absolutely a travesty to lose your life over a 75-cent bag of Lay's. So that's just not, nope. But frustration and impulsive behavior led these individuals to tip the machines, causing them to topple forward and crush the victims. For many of these cases, and I'm telling you, I'm coming to Reciprocity. You just watch. For many of these cases, an individual put money into the machine expecting a specific result. Okay, let's talk, because I told you we're talking about reciprocity today. Okay, to be honest, for many of these cases, an individual put money in the machine expecting a specific result that, while common, the expected result was common, was not supported by their understanding of the mechanics. The only thought was, "I put my money in, where is my outcome?" Which means that we often oversimplify the operations of vending machines to input output while not having an informed understanding of the operations. And where operations are not understood, frustrations are guaranteed. I got to say that one more time. There's going to be a lot of repeating today. So y'all go ahead and get ready for it. I feel a little old school today. My voice a little deeper. Like I slept a little longer. Let's talk. Where operations are not understood, frustrations are often guaranteed. And uninformed frustrations are a driving cause in self-destruction. But because this is what we have to understand, force is not a substitute for understanding. Okay, so no, so I've been there. Let me talk, because I was a greedy kid growing up. I was also poor. So if I put 75 cent in the machine, I expected to get what I put my money in there for. And if I didn't, I'd be very disappointed, because now I got to find another 75 cents and I'm still sitting here hungry. And so you get frustrated. You're not getting what you want. You're not getting what you expected. And so then you start trying to force things that don't fit. But force is not a substitute for understanding. Dang, I hope somebody's catching this right now. I got to say this because I feel like some of us may be in a place in our lives where we're trying to force things where what we really need is understanding. Okay. When transactional expectations fail, practical understanding needs to prevail. All right. So the big point is, and all of this was just my introduction, life is not a vending machine. That's the big point. If you're not too bougie, if you're not too stuck up, like if you're okay talking to other people, would you type that in the chat? Just let somebody else know in the chat. Life is not a vending machine. Now, if you know somebody that you know is having some trouble with this, go ahead and shoot them a text message real quick and just say, "Hey, life is not a vending machine." We all got that one friend that like to call and ask us for money all the time because they just know we got it. Why don't you, next time they hit you up, just reply real quick, "Hey, buddy, life is not a vending machine." You know what I'm saying? Life is like a box of chocolates. Sometimes you get the one with the coconut in the middle. Do with that what thou wilt. All right. Most of us have been trained to think transactionally. All right. We think if I do the right thing, life should reward me. If I work hard, success should come. If I love people, they should love me back the same way. If I serve, sacrifice, pray, obey, or show up, something should come back to me. But when we say life is not a vending machine, we're not saying effort does not matter. We're saying effort is not magic. Oh man, I hope y'all can sit in this. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying in any way that your effort does not matter. Your effort is valuable. Your effort is necessary. Your effort works. It's just not magic. Your effort matters. It's just not magic. You do not insert hard work, kindness, loyalty, prayer, service, sacrifice, or even good intentions and automatically get the outcome you selected. And sometimes many of us are treating life like that vending machine. No, I put in hard work. Where are my snacks? You know what I'm saying? No, I was faithful to these people. I love these people. I didn't speak negative of anybody. Why is life treating me like this? It's just simply because life is not a vending machine. It's more complex than that. Life is not a machine that dispenses rewards. Life is a network of relationships, systems, habits, choices, timing, access, and most importantly, participation. So the question is not just what am I trying to get out of life? The deeper question is what kind of life am I helping to create? The healthier question is not why didn't I get what I paid for? The healthier question is how am I participating in the kind of life that I say that I want? Life is not something we merely receive. Life is something we participate in. The more intentionally we engage our relationships, our communities, our opportunities, and personal growth, the more life has room to give back to us. But healthy reciprocity is not transactional. It's not manipulative, nor is it guilt-based. It is the practice of mutual investment, wise boundaries, and meaningful participation. In the words of an old song, you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. So the first point, our first move in today's conversation is you got to check the contract. This is it right here. I told y'all I'm coming for you. We did conversational for the whole month of May. June, I can't lie, I feel a little preachy. So let's go there. Check the contract. Because some of our disappointment from agreement, some of our disappointments come from agreements life never actually signed. I had to sit with that in 2023, the year right before I started making content. I had to really sit with that. Some of our disappointments come from agreements life never actually signed. Some of our agreements come from, some of our disappointment comes from agreements life never actually signed. From 2017 to 2023, I was really wrestling with this. In 2017, me and my family, we were about as worse off as we had ever been before. And it wasn't a new place for me. I had been there several times, and I started wondering, like, Darante, how do you always keep ending up back here? What the hell is going on? And then I had to sit with an uncomfortable truth, and that is that I was operating, in a world that didn't exist. Y'all ain't ready for me. No. I was operating in a world that didn't exist. I had to sit down from 2017 to 2023. I had to face a lot of hard truths because my disappointment was coming from agreements that life never actually signed. Darante, you have to face the fact that you don't have a support system and you live 28, 30 years of your life like you do. See, life didn't sign that contract that you thought you had. In 2023, I remember sitting in my living room in this house. I was sitting in my not my living room, but my bedroom in this house, on my couch in my bedroom. And I was sitting, I was like, you know what? I think I have a habit of treating life as I think it should be, instead of paying attention to life as it is. Have anybody ever did that before? Has anybody had that wake up call before in your life where you realize, oh snap, I think I'm responding to the world based off how I think it should operate, while completely overlooking of how it's actually going down? You can be faithful to a contract life never agreed to. And this is why the vending machine mindset is everywhere. People approach relationships like vending machines. I was good to them, so they should be good to me. Well, did I have any evidence? Did I have any patterns? Did I have anything that spoke to the probability of them being good to me? Sometimes we approach work like vending machines. I work so hard, so success should come. We approach healing like a vending machine. I went to therapy. I read the books. I left the toxic spaces. So why am I still struggling? We approach community like a vending machine. I showed up once or twice, so why don't I feel deeply connected? We approach personal growth like a vending machine. I made changes for a few weeks, so why hasn't my whole life transformed? You know what I'm saying? Like, I stopped eating meat for a whole week. Why do I still have man boobs? Why do I still have the moves? I've stopped eating the meat. What's going on? We approach so much like that vending machine. And I often tell people disappointment is often the child of false expectations. Oh, bruh. This is one of the things that's helped me keep my happy place. This is one of the things that helped me keeps my peace. When certain things I see and people like, Darante, why you ain't disappointed? Because I didn't expect more. Disappointment is often the child of false expectations. The problem is the vending machine mindset turns disappointment into evidence that life has somehow cheated us, But sometimes life didn't cheat us. Sometimes the system was more complex than the transaction we imagined. So you put the money in the vending machine, the little coils start moving around, and then your Doritos started to tilt out, but did not tilt all the way out. And based off of your limited understanding, you start shaking that machine, hoping that that brute force is going to force the mechanics to work in your favor. Because what you now realize is that this machine is not just input output. There is a whole list of mechanical turns that have to happen when I put my money in there, and I don't understand those mechanical turns. And I'm just talking about the vending machine because it's not that we all being crushed by vending machines, but sometimes this is how we get crushed by life, because we don't understand how it operates, and then we start shaking stuff. Have you ever had a relationship that you fucked up because you start shaking stuff? Oh yeah, This is good. I'm sorry for being preachy today, y'all. I'm tired and I'm feeling like an old man. So this is what you're gonna get. This is what you're gonna get. Nothing is coming between me and my zebra cake. I am dead, y'all. Sometimes the system was more complex than the transaction we imagine. Religion often trained us into transactional living. And sometimes we leave the theology, but we keep the transaction. A lot of people were taught a spiritualized vending machine model. If I pray, God will answer. If I obey, God will bless. If I sow, I will reap. If I serve, God will reward. If I sacrifice, heaven will notice. If I suffer faithfully, it will all work together. I had to face all of these illusions and delusions head on, but they don't just stay within the realm of religion. They flow into everything that we do. I was consistently told as a young Black man in the South that as long as you smile and as long as you are nice and as long as you are upstanding, you will never be a victim of racism. You will never be a victim of police brutality. You will never be a victim of discrimination. And the lie detector determined that's simply not true. Life is more complex than that. The problem is that this trains people to see life as a supernatural transaction. Do the right thing, say the right words, believe the right doctrine, submit to the right authority, and wait for the reward. Do you ever realize that sometimes we treat life like abracadabra? I realize this. Y'all know I cuss. I ain't got no problems with cussing. I try to be nice to y'all because I know some of y'all got sensitive ears and sensibilities. And so I just be trying to be respectful, even though I don't like respectability politics, but you get what I'm saying. But, so I cuss. But it ain't just that I cuss. The reason why I cuss is because I don't believe in magical words. No, I don't believe in. I just don't. I don't believe in magical words. And so when I say I don't believe in magical words, it ain't just the cussing. I also don't believe in words like please and thank you. Y'all about to be mad at me. I'm just telling you. And it's not that I don't believe those words are nice, but they're just words. They're not abracadabra. Ain't nobody got to give you anything just because you said please. But sometimes we teach people that if you say it the right way, have you ever been in an argument and somebody tell you something like, it ain't what you said, it's how you said it. That completely undermines the way language works. No, it is what I said. Ain't no way that I could have said it that you wouldn't have heard the words that I said. I don't believe in magical words. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but after leave, that's right. Same thing with sorry. Like, no, that ain't no abracadabra. That don't know if you accidentally stab me in my back saying sorry, don't take the knife out of my back. And then even taking the knife out of my back don't fix the wound. Life is more complex than that. It's not a vending machine. And many times after leaving that framework, people still carry the structure of it. They stop believing in God, but they still expect life to behave like a reward system. Oh man, life don't know you like that to reward you. And see, that's an agency issue, right? I done did all of this and life is still treating me like this. Hey, boo-boo, life ain't treating you like nothing. It's poetic. I get it. I love the poetry. As an artist, I absolutely love poetic language. As a communicator, you obviously see I'm consistently using poetic language. But when we say life is treating, I hope we understand that life doesn't have that agency to do any of the sort. Sometimes we leave the theology, but we keep the transaction because it names something real. People can deconvert from religion, but still feel betrayed when life does not reward their effort, when life doesn't respond to their morality or their intelligence or their loyalty or their growth. See, we're not waiting on a blessing from God. We should be working on better circulation with people. The vending machine mindset turns effort into payment and disappointment into betrayal. Let's sit right there for a minute. Let's sit right there. The vending machine mindset turns effort into payment and disappointment into betrayal. And the reason I want to sit there, because ain't none of us exempt from this. Many of you are probably sitting in some disappointment right now, and that's okay. Disappointment is healthy. It's good for you. It's good for your ego. Disappointment is good for you. The problem is when you start feeling like you've been betrayed by life because you were disappointed. Disappointment is a part of the process. Disappointment is a part of the process. You have to check the contract. I remember sitting in my living room one time thinking about just how much I was going through, right? And just like, oh man, I'm so upset. I'm just going through so much. Life is so hard right now. This is so much pain. So much pain. Why am I going through all of this? I'm going through it, all of it, right? It's a few years ago. And then this other question popped up in my mind. Well, Darante, how many people you think aren't going through it right now? And it's so easy to assume that someone who's in a different, it's so easy to assume that someone who's in a different position than you is in a better position than you. But life is not a vending machine. Pain is pain regardless of who has it. So this brings us to our second point of today. Change the question. Yeah. Effort matters. It does. But effort is not control. The message is not nothing matters. The message is your participation matters, but it doesn't control everything. And that nuance is essential. Participation increases possibility. It does not guarantee control. Can you sit in that? Participation increases possibility, but it does not guarantee control. That's probably one of the hardest lessons that people have to learn as they're joining a community, especially as they're taking leadership positions, because participation increases the possibility. Oh my goodness, the more people we have participating, the possibilities exponentially expand. But it still doesn't guarantee control. Effort increases probability. Participation creates connection. Consistency builds capacity. Contribution strengthens trust, and boundaries protect energy. Community expands access, and learning improves adaptation. But none of those guarantee a specific outcome on demand. Participation increases our possibility, but it does not guarantee the control, because many people are exhausted from trying to control life through performance. Have you been there? Is that you? Am I talking to you? Are you exhausted from trying to control life through performance? Because religion gave us spiritual performance, capitalism gave us productivity performance, social media gives us identity performance, virtue signaling, family systems gives us relational performance. But Bridge City has to be committed to building something healthier. You don't have to perform your way into a better life, but you do have to participate in building one. Dang, that felt good. You do not have to perform your way into a better life, but you do have to participate in building one. The old question is, why didn't life give me what I wanted? Have you ever asked that question before? Maybe after a relationship didn't work the way you thought it was going to work. Maybe after a career decision didn't work the way you thought it was going to work. Maybe you started a business and maybe you worked really hard on it. Man, let's get real personal. Let's get real personal. Maybe you were building a family and things didn't go the way you thought they should have gone. Have you ever had to sit with someone who lost a child? Y'all don't want to talk to me this weekend. You're like, man, no. The old question is, why didn't life give me what I wanted? And that question still has that religious baggage of life responding to me as an agent. I did this for life to give me this. Oh man. The better question is, how am I participating in the life that I say that I want? Because when we talk about reciprocity, we're talking about, what are you participating with? Extraction asks the wrong question. If extraction asks, what can I get? Participation asks, what am I creating, contributing, receiving, and sustaining? That's the difference. Now, listen, they can both get you to similar outcomes, but one gets you there with a healthier mindset. Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. Asking what can I get can get you what you want. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you that that never works. No, there are some people who lead with that, and sometimes it works, but it will wreck your mind every time that it doesn't. Y'all know somebody who's dealing with this right now. They're so used to extraction that when they're in a condition that life doesn't extract the way that they're thinking it's supposed to extract, they're about to have a mental breakdown, because participation is asking, what am I creating? What am I contributing? What am I receiving? And what am I sustaining? And this is the difference between rote economics and an ecology. Eesh. Extraction is often what happens when people have been empty for too long. But if extraction becomes our only posture, we cannot build anything mutual. I'm sorry, maybe some of y'all don't understand the language extraction. Let's talk about consumerism. If the only thing you show up to do is consume, when do you produce? Oh, because that's reciprocity. Let's talk now. Let's talk. Extraction asks, what can I get? Participation asks, what am I helping create? You cannot get the most out of a life you only approach as a consumer. The life you want is not something you receive, it's something you help create. It's something you co-create with others. Bridge City is not asking people to give until they disappear. We're asking, what would it look like to build a community where support circulates instead of being extracted from the same few people over and over again? Let's sit here. No. What does it look like to build a community where support circulates? Let me ask you this question. How do you show up in life? Do you show up to consume, or do you show up to participate? Do you show up to criticize, or do you show up to construct? No. Come on. Let's go there. Do you show up to get, or do you show up to give? This is the language of reciprocity. I think many times we don't experience reciprocity because we all just trying to hold our side. There's this story that we used to tell in the church world about the difference between heaven and hell. Excuse me for the language if this triggers anybody, but I think the story is relevant. And so there's a story about these people in heaven and hell. Obviously, it has nothing to do with scripture because it's just very anecdotal. So maybe it shouldn't be too bad. But there's a guy, he's in hell, and the other guy in heaven, he's like, hey, what is hell like? And he's like, well, we all sitting around a big table, and there's a whole bunch of food in front of us. But they give us these really big spoons, these really long spoons, so we can't eat the food. It's torture. And I'm going to tell you, as a guy that used to be big and that's still big at heart, that would be torture for me, to be sitting there on a big plate of food and I can't eat it. And then the guy says, the guy from the heaven guy, he says, you know what? We have the exact same setup in heaven. He says, but what we do is we take our long spoons and we feed each other. Y'all missed it. I know it's an oldie. I know it's a throwback. I know it's going to ruffle some feathers, but that's a perfect demonstration of what reciprocity in action looks like. No, because sometimes you can get so overwhelmed in survival mode that your only mode of thinking is, what can I get for me? What can I get out of this for me? But when we shift our focus to how can I help others, then maybe something can help me as well. I think it was Malcolm X who says, when I becomes we, even illness becomes wellness. Oh, this is reciprocity now. This reciprocity. So our goal as a community isn't to get people to give or serve or work or blend in until they disappear. It's to show up and help us feed. Don't just show up to eat. Show up to help feed somebody. Oh yeah, this is good. Let's talk about the cookout. Okay, that's how a cookout works. Don't you dare show up here just to eat. Don't you dare show up just to eat and take a plate. You better show up with some ice or some cups. You know what I'm saying? You better bring some bread. If you can't cook, don't you cook a damn thing now. Bring some forks or some utensils or some soda pops or whatever. But that's how reciprocity works. Is shifting the mindset from not what can I get from here, but what can I bring to the party? Oh, no. That's the question I want to challenge everybody with throughout this entire series. What can you bring to the party? And the reason why this is so important to me, because I feel that most people have been caught up in struggle for so long that they've forgotten that they even have something to bring to the party. I feel like I'm talking to somebody. I feel like I'm talking to somebody. I feel like some of you get the reason you're so stuck in what can I get? What can I get? What can I get? Is because you no longer see yourself as someone who has something to give. And one of the priorities of community is helping people realize that no, we all got something to bring to the table. Have you been to a cookout? Have you been to a potluck style spot? Well, it's like, I'll bring the playlist. We all bring something to the table. Do you know what makes Bridge City incredible? Is that we all have something different to bring. I had a meeting with one of our new volunteers this week, and he's getting ready to help us do our newsletters and stuff like that. And he was asking me how much control I want in it. And I was like, oh, I don't want no control on it. None. Because I'm intelligent, not omniscient. I'm going to say it again. I'm intelligent, not omniscient. I don't know everything that'll work. I don't know everything that won't work. When Ashley joined the team, I gave her everything that I had planned for Bridge City. I put it in her hands. Well, not in her hands, it's digital. But I gave her everything I had planned for Bridge City. I said, we're going to have groups. We're going to have teams. We're going to have missions. We're going to have a whole bunch of other stuff. And then she came back with clubs. Clubs was nowhere on the fucking list. Not at all. Clubs did not exist. They were not a part of the plan. And honestly, when she started talking about it, I had a knee-jerk reaction on the inside, like, that ain't my plan. I ain't put clubs on the list. Why she doing clubs? We ain't got groups yet. We ain't got teams yet. But I realized I'm intelligent, not omniscient. She sees something that I can't see. I'm the blind man touching the elephant. She's on the other side of the elephant. And she grabbed something that said clubs might be a good idea. You know what I'm saying? She grabbed it. She said, and I said, you know what? I'm going to trust her. I am going to trust her. And I'm so glad I did, because now clubs are like a hit in Bridge City. Y'all don't want to talk to me because she brought something to the table. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Now, if I would have leaned into my knee-jerk reaction, y'all ain't ready. Y'all don't like this type of honesty, do y'all? If I would have leaned into my knee-jerk reaction, it would have devalued what she's trying to bring to the table. And so many times, what often kills the spirit, forgive me for that word, what often kills the spirit of reciprocity is that when people do try to show up as producers, when people do try to show up as contributors, when people do try to show up as participants, we are too quick to shut down what we don't understand because we criticizing outcomes without understanding operations. Man, we have such a great community because of this. This is beautiful, man. This is beautiful. No, see, this part wasn't even in my notes. I've been off my notes for the past 10 minutes because it just hit me that one of the reasons people have a hard time showing up and participating is because there's somebody there gatekeeping what is and what isn't, instead of allowing someone else to show up and say, I see something different. And so one of the major points of this series, one of the major assignments of this series is not only to get you to start participating, but it's also to create environments where people are safe to participate. you know? And yes, if you bring the potato salad to the cookout with raisins, people gonna look at you crazy. They are. They are going to, don't you put no raisins in the potato salad. They're gonna look at you crazy. But somebody might like raisins in their potato salad. I'm going too far. Let's go to the point 3. Let's go to point 3. Point 3 is, and I got to take my own advice here, you got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving. That's the point of reciprocity. The reason why reciprocity isn't transactional is because transactional is one-off. I do this, you do this. You do this, I do this. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. That's transaction. Reciprocity is about creating a system. It's about creating an understanding that I can put something in and expect something out in a consistent process. Okay? The whole goal of reciprocity is not to get something, it's to keep something moving. Can y'all sit with that? The whole purpose of reciprocity is not to get something, it's to keep something moving. When you join a community like Bridge City, the goal isn't just to get something from Bridge City. The goal is to keep Bridge City moving. Y'all see that? Dang, how did this slip over into a vision series? I don't know. Reciprocity is not keeping score. It's keeping life in motion. Reciprocity is not, I did this, so now you owe me. You know what I'm saying? That's scorekeeping. Reciprocity is, life is healthier when giving and receiving are allowed to move. They're allowed to cycle. Come on, I need them. Because watch this. Sometimes I have high giving seasons. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I have high giving seasons. You catch me on the right day. Everybody's getting love. Everybody's getting something. But then I have other seasons where I need to be receiving. Oh, my goodness. And it's again, that breathe in and breathe out. Y'all remember that movie? Some of y'all might remember this movie, but it's a classic from where I come from. But it's called Waiting to Exhale. The whole dynamic of that movie is a breakdown in reciprocity. The whole dynamic of the movie is a breakdown in reciprocity in relationships. Because I breathed in, but now I feel like I can't exhale. And this is where so many people are living. Constantly having to hold their breath for other people and never truly being able to exhale. And I just want you to know that that is killing your circulation. It's breathe in and breathe out. It's speak and listen. It's receive and return. It's setting boundaries and staying connected. When circulation breaks, because that's what reciprocity is about. When circulation breaks, people become drained or disconnected. That's the one thing that I'm probably the heaviest on with Zernial and Ashley, because they have like real full-time lives. They give a lot to what we do as a community. Like when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like they work their asses off. And I'd be like, hey, chill, because you're not getting paid. This is free labor. Don't turn yourself into a slave. No, when circulation breaks, people become drained or disconnected. And the one thing that would absolutely terrify me, the one thing that would break my heart, is if the people who work the hardest for this community become drained, or even worse, disconnected, because we didn't fix our circulation issue. Damn, this is good. And this is why Bridge City, listen, this is why Bridge City needs you. Like in the words of Smokey the Bear, only you can present can prevent Ashley from getting drained. You see it? Only you can prevent Zernial from getting disconnected, because participation increases circulation. It allows other people to be able to come in and like imagine if, okay, we're going back to the cookout. I should have named this the cookout. I don't know why I did vending machine, but we're going back to the cookout. you, you, we're going back to the cookout. But can you imagine planning a cookout? And I've done this before. Can you imagine planning a cookout for 50 or more people, but you have to do all of the cooking and you have to do all of the preparation? You got to bring, you got to provide all of the plates. You got to make the sweet tea. You got to make the Kool-Aid. You got to set the table. It's probably going to be a lovely event, but it's going to cost you so much. And it's just not healthy. Like feasts, festivals, and potluck exist in in the human experience because they make us better. But we shouldn't reserve that understanding to just feast. That's literally life. That's how life works. Life works when we sustain the engine together. Drained people are giving without receiving. Disconnected people are receiving little because they're participating little. Resentful people are giving with unspoken contracts. Entitled people are expecting returns without investments. Burned out people have confused love with depletion. Isolated people often want community without knowing how to enter mutual exchange. And let's sit in that for a moment. Let's sit in that for a moment. What am I expecting from relationships, from people, from life that I'm not holding myself responsible for participating in? When I join a new community, what am I expecting from that community that I'm not holding myself responsible for participating and making possible? No. Let's go there. When I start a new job, what am I expecting from that position that I'm not holding myself accountable to participate in making happen? When I enter a new relationship, what am I expecting from that other person in that relationship that I am not holding myself responsible or accountable for participating in to help generate that in the relationship? When reciprocity breaks down, people usually become either drained, disconnected, resentful, or entitled. I have been all four. I've been drained. I've been disconnected. I've been resentful. I've definitely been entitled. You don't want to see an entitled Darante. That dude is not cool at all. But no, I've been there because reciprocity breaks down. It's like, wait a minute. And then for years, I had to wrestle. Why? Why is this happening this way? Usually all at once. I love that. It's like going through all the stages of grief in like 30 seconds. You know, the life you want requires a different kind of question. It's not what I put in. It's not who's going to give it to me. It's how am I participating? And the reason why participation is so important in this conversation is because that's the vending machine aspect. When I say life is not a vending machine, I'm saying we're treating life like it is locked into these well understood mechanics. Well, I gave them $20 when they needed it. Why they ain't giving me $20 when I need it? Do they have $20 to give when you need it? So that's that vending machine mindset. I put 20 in, 20 should be there when I come to get it back. How am I participating in the life that I want? Who am I working with? In relationships, am I only asking what people are not giving me, or am I also asking what kind of relationship I'm helping create? Sit in that. As a deeply emotionally sensitive person, this is a real one for me. I'm constantly thinking about what people ain't giving me in relationships. I'm just gonna be honest. I'll get naked so y'all don't have to. I'm like, I'm constantly thinking about what I'm not getting in a relationship. Constantly. No. But am I only asking what people are not giving me? Or am I also asking what kind of relationship am I helping to create? And when I say what kind of relationship am I helping to create, I'm also talking about your toleration. Are you tolerating things that don't produce the things that you want to see? And if you're tolerating things that you don't want to see, how are you participating in the life that you want to have? Okay, I'll let you sit in that. I ain't gonna mess with you too long. I'm just gonna let you sit in it, okay? In community, am I waiting to feel connected before I participate? Or do I understand that participation is often how connection grows? It's like sometimes, when I was a kid, dances used to be popular and I was fat, like really, really fat. And so people didn't always ask me to dance. I mean, don't get me wrong now. I got around. But it just took time. The skinny fellas go in there and immediately, it's like, hey, Marco, you want to dance? Just immediately. The big guy, I walk in and just sit there by the wall. And I'm like, dang, ain't nobody gonna come ask me to dance, And then you afraid because you don't just want to walk up on somebody because you big, they might be scared. Like what you want. I have a lot of big jokes. You're not ready. But no. Am I waiting to feel connected before I participate? Or do I understand that participation is often how connection grows? When I show up in the room, am I willing to take the risk to show up unapologetically? Am I willing to take the risk to participate in the social environment by just going up to introduce myself to people? One thing that I found absolutely fascinating, because I'm kind of a hermit. Now, y'all don't know this about me, but straight up, I am kind of a hermit. I am. You would never guess it because I've been really good at masking like my entire life. So if I'm out in public with you, I'm going to be the life of the party. The people in California tell you, I'm going to be the life of the party player. But in real life, I am a hermit. Okay. I am a hermit. And I'm just now starting to get comfortable, getting out of that. And one of the people who've helped, they weren't even trying to help. They helped just by existing is Bob. My first time meeting Bob was at a conference I attended last year. And he just had no problem coming up to me and talking to me. I was a complete stranger. I was like, oh. And then we talked some more. But then I realized Bob does this to everybody. Bob is like a social freaking butterfly. He walks into a room, he's talking, and he can immediately find something to talk about. And I'm just like, man, that is beautiful. Because I don't see that a lot. I don't. But that's a reminder that you have to participate in the life that you want. Participation is how connection grows. It's how connection grows. In personal growth, am I expecting transformation without repetition? Like, I don't know if y'all notice when I wear like short sleeves, I try not to wear short sleeves a lot because I've lost the weight, but I still got the fat suit. It's still here. Okay. So I used to have a decent exercise routine. I've gotten super duper busy, which it's not an excuse. I need to get back on my exercise routine for health reasons, but like now my arms are all flabby. And so I can't expect to do 10 push-ups for 1 week and be like, hey, why my arms ain't toned back up yet? Like, no. I cannot expect transformation without repetition. I can't expect, okay. I can't expect transformation without discomfort. Ooh, yes, sit in it. Sit in it, damn it. No. I can't expect transformation without repetition. I can't expect it without discomfort. And I think sometimes when you come from that transactional mindset, from that vending machine mindset, discomfort means disqualified. You know, no, if I'm not comfortable, I must be doing something wrong. But it's like, no, discomfort is not always a sign of wrong. It's a sign of difference. I'm not doing something wrong. I'm doing something different. And likely that's what I needed to be doing. In healing, am I treating healing like a destination I should have already reached, or like a process I have to keep participating in? This is something I realized about myself. At the same conference that I met Bob at, I participated in a panel with a mental health professional, Dr. Janine, who I've had on the channel before. And the question that was presented to the panel is, where do you see your mental health today? I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I describe my mental health as healthy. I'm still trying to figure out what healthy looks like for me. I'm more aware now that I'm not as healthy as I thought I was. And that's what keeps me in the process of checking on myself. An opportunity, am I waiting for doors to open, or am I building relationships, skills, and visibility that makes doors more likely to open? Darante, what does this have to do with reciprocity? I'm telling you, this is how you build the engine, my friends. A lot of us are sitting on the other side of that door expecting a transactional abracadabra to do it. Open sesame, which I was this years old when I realized that open sesame is just open sesame. Now I feel a little slow. But I had this moment with you. You got to participate. No, it's not just am I waiting for doors to open. It's not just am I waiting for life to treat me a certain way. It's not just am I waiting to get back what I put in. It's, am I doing the work to build relationships? Am I doing the work to build the skills? Am I doing the work to make myself visible enough that makes the doors likely to open? A major part of the success of this channel has been that I had to get out of the closet. Oh, Kyle, that's so good. You just took me back to 2 years ago. Big doors swing on small hinges. You know, the big point today is you cannot get the most out of a life that you refuse to participate in. And I know it's scary. I know you don't have all the answers. I know you don't know what's on the other side, but that's okay. You're intelligent. You're not omniscient. You can't expect yourself to know how everything is going to work out. And you've got to stop criticizing yourself for the outcomes when you don't have a full grasp of the operations. And so your next step is to actually get involved in the operations. You're valuable. Stop showing up at the cookout empty-handed because somebody told you you don't got nothing to bring. That's what's killing your system, your engine of reciprocity. You've let somebody convince you that you don't have a right to show up and that you don't have a right to bring something. I used to use this illustration in a lot of my early series that we punished a whole generation of kids for playing video games and told them they'd never be anything. Told them you're wasting your time on those video games. That's what we told them. Confidently, we said it. I was a part of the generation being told that. I'm not that old, y'all. I'm 40, but I was a part of the generation being told that. And many people, especially in my community, we believed it, took it to heart, still played the games, but treated it like it was a waste of time and like it was just a hobby, while other people decided to participate in creating something. And they're like, you ain't gotta like it in order for me to like it. Everything isn't for everybody. And that's why I said, even if people been picking at you for putting them raisins in the potato salad. You still bring that nasty ass potato salad because somebody else is going to like it. I promise you. You're not the only one. There are too many people making jokes about raisins and potato salad for you to be the only one that like it. So this weekend, I don't want us leaving with guilt. I don't want anybody hearing, well, I guess everything hasn't worked out in my life. It's just my fault. That's not the point, friend. The point is that you can't control every outcome. The point is not that effort guarantees reward. The point is not that if you just give enough, serve enough, work enough, heal enough, or show up enough, life will finally dispense what you've selected. That's the vending machine mindset. Life literally is like a box of chocolate. And sometimes you get the ones with the coconut in the middle. You do with that what you will, okay? It's not always the one with the nougat, okay? The point is that some of us have been standing in front of life frustrated because we inserted the best we had, and you did. I don't want to take that from you. But you expected a specific return, and that's the input-output fallacy. We inserted loyalty and expected loyalty. Everybody don't respond to love with love. Some people have been so bruised, so damaged, that they respond to love with distrust. They respond to love with suspicion. What are you trying to get from me? We inserted faith and expected blessing. And that's just magic. By the way, blessing just means bloody. I just want y'all to know that. So next time somebody say, God bless you, you say, well, bloody you too. All right? Let's see how well that goes over. We inserted work and expected success. And my neurospicy is going ham right now. So on that one, if you're a musical lover like I am, you want to go see How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. The original. How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. We inserted pain and expected healing. And when the outcome got stuck, we started shaking the machine. What I really hope that this conversation does today is I hope this helps some people repair some relationships. I hope it helps people reclaim some faith in themselves. Because there's some things in life that you may have created some damage in because you was expecting that vending machine model to work. And when it didn't work precisely like that, instead of trying to get understanding, you start shaking the machine. You know, have you ever done that? You wasn't trying to hurt nobody. You wasn't trying to hurt yourself. You just put something in and you expected to get something out. And that's not wrong. Just sometimes it's not as informed as we think it is. We shook relationships. We shook religion. We shook ourselves. I am not looking at this chat. We shook our expectations. We shook life itself. But brute force is not a substitute for understanding. So the invitation this weekend is not to shake harder. Maybe it's to step back and ask a better question. Not just why didn't I get what I expected, but what contract did I assume life had signed with me? Why did I think life had to work that way? What evidence did I have to force that conclusion? Not just why isn't life giving me more, but how am I participating in the life I say that I want? Not just who owes me, but where does the circulation need to be restored? Because reciprocity is not keeping score, it's keeping life moving. Bridge City is not here to recreate a system where people are consumed in the name of community. And we're not here to build a space where people sit back and consume community without ever helping create it. We are trying to build something healthier. So as we close week 1, the challenge is simple. This week, check the contract, change the question, and keep it moving, baby. Because the life you want is not something you receive, it's something you help create and you cannot get the most out of a life that you refuse to participate in. Thank you for joining me for today's session. I'm handing it over to Ashley and Jude now.
My mic was muted. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's Sunday session. Jude, I'm sorry, because I know these live intros and outros are new, but I took notes on this one, and I just want to touch on some of these really fast. You guys, today's session was amazing. And like I said in the chat, probably going to be one of my most favorite ones. Just in terms of what we covered, life is not a vending machine. And before we kind of dive in, I do want to just clarify, please don't put raisins in potato salad. Please.
I like raisins in potato salad.
You do?
I know.
Guys, Jude's Canadian. Let's leave it over there, okay? But no, so I really just want to like touch on something legit. Looking at my notes right now, the introduction to logical fallacies. If you guys have not taken a moment, please go review some of those. You'd be surprised how much of your own thinking can get trapped inside them. And really what Darante was talking about the extraction versus participation. You know, what if you're showing up saying, what can I get versus what can I give? What can I consume versus what can I construct? I really think this is a hard part to check on your own thinking. How do you show up? And I loved that. Did you get a chance to hear that, Jude? Like that's that part of the Sunday session this morning.
I did. I wasn't paying as close attention as I wanted to. I had some distractions, but yeah, no, it was really a lot of really powerful stuff.
No, and I gotta say one. So, like, you guys, I'm like looking at this in the chat. I believe it was Cronus, and I may be mispronouncing your name, and I'm so sorry. You said presence, not performance. I love that. And another thing that Darante said: effort is not magic. And I feel like that was a good theming and through line throughout this whole conversation.
I think that's really important for us all to remember: is that effort's not magic. Effort can increase the odds of us.
Of course,
getting things, but it's not a magic bullet, right?
Exactly. That's that personal sense of entitlement of, oh, well, I've done this, so now I get this. I mean, obviously that's what this whole session was about today. And I know that I'm guilty of that. I go through my life sometimes and I'm just like, wait, I did all the right stuff. I did all the right things. Why am I not getting that? And that's something I've really had to check as I've gotten older, as reality slaps you in the face a few times. You're like, wait, maybe this isn't how things work. So I just thought today's whole session was so great. I'm probably gonna have to put more in there. Oh, and Darante, I have an ask for you. That list you gave of all the people, if you're not participating, you're doing this. Let's get that in the community. We need that like up on a post kind of thing.
Yeah.
So again, thank you, everyone. I hope some of these words resonated with you as well. And of course, what stuck out with you?
Yeah, I mean, like, again, did you have a moment today where something kind of got you thinking, got you that resonated? That is there anything that you've been mulling on that the conversation today brought up? Right, that's why we have these sessions. Honestly, this is our kind of weekly touch point for us to start doing life together so that we can kind of be on the same page. We have people who are going with us through life, just generally.
Literally, it really is. Sessions like these really reinvigorate why we participate in this community, why we show up, because it's ever expanding, it's ever growing of your own personal responsibility, your own personal agency. Big topic that I love. So for everyone out there, if you've been thinking about joining Bridge City, now's the time. If this is not about gatekeeping, this is not about check your ideas at the door. It's bring yourself as you are and let's grow. Let's participate. Let's shape our lives together. So you belong here. If anything in this conversation touched you, resonated with you, if you're looking for a post-religious community, because post-religious doesn't have to mean we don't get together and grow and expand on our ideas. It literally means having these conversations. It means taking hold of our agency and showing each other what we owe to each other. So I want you to come join Bridge City, a place to live without shame. And I'm sorry, Jude, please.
I was just pointing out that Darnea has dropped the link in the chat. And do we have a QR code we can put on the screen somewhere?
Oh yeah, let's get that up there. And forgive me, you guys, I don't have chat up. I don't know how to format my screen just yet. I will work on it. So Jude, you got chat. If anyone says anything cool,
all right,
let's chat it out. But if you want a place to connect, build, and live better, get into Bridge City.
Yeah, and we have our Global Campus Pathway, our new member onboarding course to help you kind of get oriented, get an idea, especially if you've never used the Circle app before for anything else. We have the tap in and the new member onboarding course, which kind of walks you through first how to use the site, where to find everything, where you find our clubs and the commons and all of that cool stuff. And we have the and the new member onboarding goes over some of our values and the ideals that we're kind of working on building. We got if you're gonna any good build has a blueprint. Right?
Yes, I was literally just talking about this with Darante this week. We have a blueprint out, you guys. We have the raw materials. We are building. We are actively building. And I want to say, we have the courses that get you into the community that help set you up, and at least so you can start. But we also have the new member house party. It'll be at the end of this month that we all get together and we kind of go over not only our mission and values, but how to navigate the campus. And then we play games, which is awesome. Yes. Or we talk, depending on how we're feeling that day. And additionally, we've actually launched connection circles, which if you're like, hey, I really do want to join, but I don't necessarily want to talk to 14 people at once, that's fair. We can actually do a much smaller group and kind of take you through the campus. So get your new member onboarding courses going, and then come to a connection circle or the house party or both.
Ultimately, community is about relationships, and so we want to provide opportunities for you to build relationships. And having a whole bunch of mass events isn't always conducive to that. So we put a lot of effort into developing small, more close-knit spaces where people can really have a chance to get to know each other.
Yes. And of course, if you see anything in the campus and you're like, I think it'd be cool if we had this, reach out to any of us, because we love to make the member experience better and help you guys feel like you've found your community.
That's how I got involved, honestly, is I posted, I just kind of offhanded suggested in the comment, I could run a vocal workshop if people are interested. And next thing I know, Ashley's DMing me and saying, hey,
Jude, you opened it up now. I will say, I try not to come on too strong, but the moment someone has a good idea, I'm probably going to pounce on you and be like, get ready, because we're doing this. But it's been great, Jude. Not only have you stepped in and stepped up, really you've expanded, just kind of how Darante was talking on earlier. Like when I started introducing clubs, it was not in Durante's plan. It wasn't. But I love our clubs. Our clubs are thriving, and they give people a great landing point to just kind of trickle in and participate as they can if you're not ready to do a small talk or the trigger warning discussions yet. And when Jude came in, it was like, well, yeah, we have this music club, we have this vision, and Jude just bam, hit the ground running with the workshops, the songwriting sessions. You've done great things, Jude.
It's great. So speaking of the songwriting sessions and the music club, we are currently working on a song for this month's series. It's not ready today, unfortunately. We are still getting the hang of the timing on.
We're figuring out our rhythm, but
we're developing a rhythm. The goal is that within a couple of months we'll be ahead enough that we'll have the song ready by the beginning of the month.
Yeah, exactly. But for now, thank you for bearing with us. But I can't wait. I was part of that songwriting session.
Yes, it was great. It's third Tuesday of the month. We have songwriting sessions, and then after which we coordinate on building the song. We've got a bunch of people now coordinating. I'm not the only one singing. Zerniel's actually singing in this one, and we've got Party Wolf, who you see in the chat sometimes, is also contributing. It is going to be awesome. It's not done yet, but it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned.
Yes. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears peeled. If
Yes.
that's how that works, because I'm really excited to see it drop. I've seen the demo. I'm excited.
And we're doing some really fun collabs in Bridge City music. And it's one of the things is that we're hoping to eventually get it to a point where streaming some of these collaborations could become a source of income for Bridge City, which brings us to the second Tuesday of every month.
Oh,
which Giving Tuesdays.
I ruined that for Jude, but just so you guys know, that was the best transition I've ever seen. I'm so proud of you because in order to give support in the community, we need support. Now, you guys have heard us talk about inviting generosity, that we don't require tithings, that we don't shame people into funding the mission, the dream, the vision. But it is, our community is sustained by our members, by you out there watching this right now. So when you're giving on our Giving Tuesdays, the second Tuesday of every month, it's about supporting the mission. It's about creating accessibility to the community, sustainability and stability, so we can keep these music events, we can keep these discussions, this growth moving. So your support helps keep our community in motion, supporting local events, as well as what our big focus is right now, our next step as a community, moving into that nonprofit status. So that's been our really big push, and we'll see that again in June for those costs.
Yes. Because having those costs covered by the community helps us expand even more. And the more we expand, the more resources we have available, the more people pitching in, the more good we can do, the more of an impact that we can make. And speaking of impacts, we want to start establishing more local events, more local gatherings. We always encourage you to get a hold of us if you want help coordinating a watch party, if there's anybody in your area who are also interested. And that's a really kind of simple, easy way to start building a local community, is just have people over on Sunday to watch the live stream, right? Or even just have local meetups, meet at a coffee shop,
real world,
with a couple of people on a regular basis, and getting,
and I want to break in here really fast because I forget, I think it was Mark or Bob in the beginning, in the intro, they mentioned coffee hour and how you meet people at coffee hour typically. And I was like, it's so silly that we don't start some of these watch parties within the community. And then afterwards, after we, break out of our Sunday sessions, have like a coffee hour in the lounge and just kind of talk about some of these things. Because you guys, legit, I have notes. Like, I need to talk to you guys about these things. So just so you know, mine's brewing on these things. And if you guys have any ideas for this front, let us know. But again, when we are inviting generosity and asking for your support, this isn't a manipulation. This is transparency. This is support that expands our mission, that builds the bridge. So if you can, we ask that you support generously or show up if you're unable to financially contribute.
And that's honestly, that's what it comes down to, is like, we would love to not have to ask for money, but that's not the world we live in. We still live under capitalism.
Granted, I will say that a barter system would make this harder. This would make it harder if we were under that.
Yeah, I mean, like, the money has a use. Capitalism and money are not synonymous, though.
True. Very true. Well, and so if you can't support financially, there's other ways to still support the community.
So many. You
could share the replay.
And comment. Boost us in the algorithm.
Yes.
Remember to like the stream on your way out.
Do the YouTube things, please. Yeah. And so I would say, we all know a bridge is only as effective as the place it reaches. You guys have heard us say this month after month. For years, probably at this point, for some people. So if you guys know anyone that's looking for a post-religious community, is hoping to indulge in their own personal growth, to expand on their own personal agency and would enjoy these conversations, share these conversations, share them to your social feeds. And again, just underline again, if you haven't done the YouTube things, after you're done with the stream, be sure to leave a comment. Let's get
And I'm just going to cut in real quick.
Please.
We have a super chat from
No way.
Profile Link. And he just asked if Europeans join. If you're referring to Bridge City, absolutely 100%. We have people from all over the world on our global campus. We have people from Malaysia and South Africa, and it's fantastic. It's really wonderful, just the diversity of voices we have on there already. So come on over. Absolutely 100% join us.
Please. And I feel like maybe we should be underlining these a bit more. We already have members in Malaysia, Africa, Australia. Like we are a global community and expanding every day. So yes, if you're thinking about joining wherever you are in the world, please, we're all people and people matter.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, so let's go ahead and start closing this up. Again, everyone, thank you so much for joining and sticking around, even in this closing section here. As a reminder for Reciprocity, going back to my notes, the ask was today, are you willing to take the risk to show up? And if so, how are you showing up? These are things to keep in mind. Participation over extraction, circulation over control, understanding contribution over entitlement, and know where you're at before you start criticizing where you've landed. One of my favorite quotes, and I forgive me, it came from a YouTuber, but a YouTuber who heard it somewhere else, is wherever you go, there you are. And it's such a silly, simple quote, but it's true.
Yeah.
And it's really about examining your own agency in your situations and what you are bringing to the table. So life doesn't move through our desire alone. Effort is not magic. And it moves to you showing up and participating the way you want to interact with this world.
Yeah. And don't shake the vending machine because it could fall on you.
I feel like I gotta look up some stats on this. Is this a real thing? I've never seen someone shaking a vending machine.
I've seen someone do it actually.
What?
When the mechanism goes and it comes out, but it kind of gets stuck between the mechanism and the glass. I've seen people like trying to shake it. I actually saw someone successfully do it once. And I'm like, but I remember like pointing at the sticker. I was just a kid. I'm just pointing at it. You're not supposed to do that.
It's like they have this sticker for a reason, you guys.
I ran because I'm like, no, it's gonna fall. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen.
Well, okay, apparently it does. So don't shake the vending machine. Don't shake and force your relationships. Don't shake and force yourself. A lot of this is growth and ownership and just seeking understanding before we show up. So,
yes. And honestly, I really do love the idea of having the kind of a coffee hour after Sunday sessions. We are having a movie night tonight, and so there will be. Oh my God! Yes. So don't forget about that. We have the movie night at the what heart? I forget.
The normal heart. So actually, underlining again, we are in Pride Month, you guys, and Bridge City, we celebrate all people, all walks of life. But boom, movie night! I love it. So
on it.
Keep eyes out. We will be calling on our LGBTQ plus members to start discussions on how we can best honor Pride Month. We just got out of a series about releasing shame, so let's celebrate some pride.
Scheduled for that this month? Do you know?
There will be a trigger warning scheduled on AI. Which
we don't have any small talks around Pride. Somebody should do that. Maybe
not yet, but small talks. I feel like they're coming, and at least we can kick it off tonight with. And Mark's already thankfully announced us today, but we can kick off Pride Month with our movie night, The Normal Heart today. It's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time if you can make it. But I will say I've never seen it. Most of the community members I've spoken with haven't.
The graphic says 8 p.m. Central.
Central
Oh,
time.
no. Oh, 6 Pacific. So you were
Yes.
going Pacific. Okay.
Yeah,
You're
Pacific
confusing me.
time. Great time zone.
Yes.
What I've heard about the movie, I'm sure you've heard this too, Jude, is it's a tearjerker. So
I have heard. I actually had never heard of this movie before it came up as the movie night for this month. So I am interested. But I've heard it's a tough watch for some people.
So bring the tissues, bring the snacks, and we'll see you at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, our time zone. That
I mean, there's always we always have a really great discussion on Discord afterwards about the movie.
Always. So again, hopefully we'll see you guys there tonight. And to our visitors, the people who have been thinking about Bridge City, like you over there in Europe, I don't want to say Europe, forgive me. Thank you for showing up, and we hope you guys come back next week. I mean, I'm already really excited about the series. And side note, because I can't stop side noting this morning, I didn't think I would be. I was like, Reciprocity. When everyone chose that on the poll, I was like, I don't want this series. I'm good. But legit,
it's a good subject. It's a good subject. I've always thought the idea of reciprocity is one that's not as well understood as people think they understand it.
Agreed.
And it's definitely a subject worth talking about, I think, especially in regards to community building, right? Because we're building community here, and reciprocity is something that makes communities self-sustaining instead of having to constantly be managed.
Now you're making me feel like I got to switch around the trigger warning topics. We'll have a discussion on campus about this because
we will.
We have one. So I will say again, visitors, thank you. First time you're a visitor, second time you're a guest, third time you're as good as family. So,
and to our family, right? Remember, again, don't let the conversation end here. We have the comments. You can comment here, share the replay. We have the Commons on Bridge City campus. We have all of the clubs.
The lounge.
We have a bunch of different. We have the member lounge for more casual conversations. We also have the resource board. If you want to suggest a movie for a future movie night, that's on the resource board, along with many other things, including resources,
Connections Hub. Really, go check out the resource board if you haven't yet. It has a lot of great information about Bridge City, external communities, and we'll actually be this month launching a Bridge City library where we showcase some content creators from YouTube that our community respects and wants to engage with.
I am down for that. Yeah, and if you want to start contributing, if you are still kind of new and getting the feel of place, we have the teams page where you can formally volunteer, or you can do what I did and just put your hand up in a club somewhere and say, "Hey, can I do this?" Someone will send you to Ashley. And
I will pounce on you, and we will do things.
Yes, it's great. There's so many ways to get involved, and we have so much stuff going on, so many new things. If there's something on Bridge City that you want to see and it's not there yet, and you have the time and energy to do it, like
to show up. Yeah,
honestly, it's fantastic because we've got a wonderful community that's just growing, and I'm really excited to see where we're going with all of this.
And I feel like this is how you see our values in motion. When we say forward thinking, we talk about having these conversations, kicking off Pride Month with a movie that is probably going to cause some tears in the audience. We want to expand our thinking and grow as people because we're people-centric. Everything we're doing within the community is about connecting authentically, genuinely, about showing up for each other. And of course, life-affirming. It's not about agreeing a one-to-one. It's not about judging the next person over, personality policing and how you're supposed to do it. It's about celebrating each of us as we are.
Yeah. And celebrating each of us as we are and what each of us are able to contribute, right? We want to be forward-thinking enough to anticipate what needs to be done, what the community is going to
expand the conversation,
expand the conversation. We want to be people-centric. We want to build those relationships so that we know who needs what, right? If you have friends, they're more likely to notice when you're in a bad place, right?
Exactly. And I think we even see that in the community. I'll tell you, if I don't hear from you in like a month and you're pretty active, I will be reaching out. Apparently, I'm a pouncer. I just got to accept that about myself. That's where we're at right now.
We love you for it. I mean,
Oh,
Bridge City wouldn't be what it is today without you.
well, and without all of us, honestly, I will never stop being amazed by how many people show up in the community and take a piece of it and run. And it's been beautiful to watch. So again,
and life affirming, right?
And life
affirming, show up as you are. We are not here to tell you to be something specific or different, or we want you to show up and let us know what you need to be the best version of yourself.
And if you really want to put raisins in the potato salad, fine. Just do it. Well, so I will say again, everyone, thank you for joining us today. And until next time, keep rising and be the bridge.
Overcoming everything that's thrown at me. I am now becoming everything I chose to be. I am now affirming greater power is in me. I am never running from my own capacity.